What is up, guys, and welcome to another episode of my Ego App Fantasy. Today we are looking at EPL Season 15 playoffs. I didn't make a video separately for each of the stages because I felt I can show you here how I kind of did. In the first few, I just kind of went with the play of having one bench player all event long. I just felt like TZN isn't gonna do too much. Drop isn't gonna do too much. BMAS I felt isn't gonna do too much, but in the end he actually fragged so much. He was like the highest rated player in the event. Drop was probably fine to play as well, but within the last stage I kind of realized it's probably better to switch around players. I went with so this one I did the video on. Did pretty okay. This one was a bit worse. Misuta and all of Vitality did pretty badly. Brokey was decent. Yeah, James wasn't the best either. And here Shiro did really, really good. Shiro was pretty much a must-have, I guess. That went pretty decent. And then the last one went pretty good as well, I would say. Pretty decent. Either way, I'm now in the total positioning. In the total thing, I'm position 27 out of 740, so that's pretty nice. Done Ed League 22nd, my league 21st. Probably not fighting for the prize places, even if I do super well in the playoff stage. Either way, it's fun to make the lineup at least. But either I'll show you the bracket. So here we have the bracket for playoffs. I'll not go over this one in my HLTV fantasy video because I don't need to do it twice. I'm probably gonna make the video today as well though. Some very interesting ones. So of course this one jumps to everyone as what the hell is going on. FaZe players and Navi all in the same part of the group. Just because FaZe was third, Navi won their group, players was second. I would say this one definitely on paper the weakest one with Movistar, Fnatic, and ENCE. When Movistar went 5-0, they beat players, they beat Liquid. But the thing is, like, a lot of these wins aren't that impressive to me. As I said, this one is a pretty easy group and was supposed to be a players 5-0 every time. But Movistar ended up winning that one. I wasn't like super surprised by them doing well here or qualifying, but I'm a bit surprised that they beat players, of course. Fnatic and ENCE. I think ENCE is probably the favorite in this. So then we have Heroic, Liquid, and IP. Pretty decent. I think Heroic and NiP are finalist contenders, and Liquid not so much probably, but still could pull off an upset. I don't think it's impossible. Astralis and Tropic Furia. So Furia was looking pretty nice. It was a hard group. Going 4-1 just like ENCE. Very impressive. And Tropic did pretty decently as well. 4-1. I think they only lost to IP. Yeah, because NIP lost to G2 in the end. So yeah, and then Astralis was good enough. Let's say they beat Complexity in the end only 2-1, but other than that, I think they only lost to Navi and Heroic, so not the worst losses for them. They have a chance. I think they probably beat Entropic, but I think Furia probably are favorites to make it to the semis. So who would I pick from each part of the group, I guess, is the real question. So here it's Heroic or maybe NIP. Here it is probably ENCE. Like, I honestly kind of want to go for some ENCE players this time around, rather than Movistar or Fnatic at least. I don't think Fnatic is going to do too much here, even though they looked pretty decent in last stage. And Movistar, I just think they might fall off. They could beat ENCE or Fnatic definitely, but I don't think they're going to beat whoever out of Heroic, Liquid, NiP makes it to semis. Furia should be favorite against these, but I don't think Astralis is like impossible one either. I wouldn't be surprised if Astralis make it to semis. I'd be a bit surprised if Entropic make it, but they are also a decent team, so possible. And this one is, of course, like when I'm making my lineup, this is like this is what it all comes down to in the end, I feel. Do you pick FaZe, players, or Navi? Both in this and HLTV, it's very unpredictable, but whoever makes it out of this probably wins the event, I feel. Like if FaZe beats players and Navi, they probably win. Navi, if they beat whoever wins this, I would pick them to win the entire thing. My gut tells me that FaZe is the strongest out of these. They looked really good towards the end, even though they went 3-2. I think they have something to prove as well. Now that they had some struggles at the beginning, I would say FaZe probably is what I want to go for in both this and HLTV. But yeah, so back over to Ego. We wipe. Yep. And who do we want to go for? Let's look at the prices. So simple, of course. Pretty expensive. Who's like the least expensive players? Drop super inexpensive. Drop is not like a horrible pick here. Who do I think is like? Oops, sorry, that's my phone. Who do I think is kind of undercosted? I guess Electronic 173 and Bit 175 are both very decent options. SS 154, like these heroic players like Cadian as well. I think I had both Cadian and Tessus in the last. No, I had Staven, I think. Yeah, double heroic is probably happening, so I should probably go for them. Let's just start throwing some players in there. So heroic refreshes was also really good, but I think Cadian because of op. I tell it here first. But I think, yeah, Cadian. And in this top part, it's also more important to have like 5 really good players because you're going to be substituting them in anyways. So all of your 6 players are going to basically be playing all times. Like if I go Electronic Bit, and then let's say Cadian and Refresh. Refresh was really good in the last stage. We still have 358 for 2 players. We need to go for some. No, wait, 358 is actually a pretty good amount. Who do I want to go for next? Heroic. Oh yeah, I think FaZe is gonna make it. I shouldn't go for Electronic Bit. I just for some reason I felt like, yeah, they're inexpensive. So Brokey, Rops, and Twist are all damn, they're so expensive. All of the FaZe players are pretty expensive. Let's see if it's doable. I'd probably go for like maybe Rops. Rops doesn't die that much. 38. I think ENS is probably the last team I would pick from here. AD's modern probably not be at the low end. AD's makes sense. 176 after this, so we could still get Diha. That's pretty damn good. I really like this lineup, I'm not gonna lie. It's putting a lot of stock into FaZe, which I do feel like I want to gamble on them. The heroic players are just so inexpensive. And then I have high expectations for ENS in this one, to be honest. Yeah, I like this. I wanted to see. Matches. Why is it not? Okay, here. Okay, so Fnatic and ENS and then FaZe players play on the first day. So we should swap out heroic player for the first part. That's a pretty important part to have at the beginning, all of the correct players. So we sell you, then we sell you, and we buy refresh for you, then D for you. All right, I think that's my lineup for Ego. Go with this. Wait, I'm not sure why it shows Robs and Brokey as having. Oh, right, because they. No, wait, they didn't make it to the next stage. I think it might be just bugged. Like, they won't probably in the end get those points. Either way, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. I will be releasing the HLTV fantasy video a bit later today, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.